Number 7. A killer whale was chasing a stingray when it crashed into a New Zealand beach and got stranded. Dr. Ingrid Visser and her crew were called to the rescue yet again.
Orca hotline, Ingrid speaking. Apparently he came in full speed into the beach chasing a stingray and then he just, got stuck.
When she arrived at the shore, she identified the orca from afar. She had known him since he was a child.
And from the distance I could even tell who it was. I've known him since he was a kid. This is Putita. We can tell it's him because he's got notches in his head. No, this is this.
In any case, the crew kept pushing, hoping to get it to its mother and brother, who had been waiting all along.
So that's Yin and Rua, his mother and his older brother. You can do it. Come on.
Eventually, they managed to push it into deep enough water for it to take off.
So, it doesn't get better than this.
Number 6. This massive orca was discovered stranded along the Argentine coast, separated from its pod, and upon seeing it, multiple rescuers rushed to its aid, attempting to lift it back into the rising tides. Unfortunately, despite their best intentions, they underestimated how heavy an orca could be, and soon they got a tractor to help in the lifting. They were actually able to bring it back into the rising tide and it swam across, much to the delight of all the rescuers there. Humanity at its finest. Number 5.
Wales Island and Clackamas Bay.
In situations where a killer whale is stranded and there isn't much equipment nearby to help, compassion is often just enough, as this orca rescue shows.
This poor killer whale beached herself. We've been here for a couple hours trying to keep her cool until the tide comes up, and not much we can do but just keep her comforted.
The rest of her pods were nearby, but they were helpless as well. In any case, they kept her hydrated while patiently waiting for hours for the tide to rise. Number 4. On a sunny afternoon on the beach, the last thing you expect to see is the ocean's apex predator crying out for help, as was the case with this orca. With no other orca in sight, Emma and her colleague wasted no time in offering their help to the stranded animal. The incoming tides made things difficult as the orca kept falling back down every time it was rolled up. Despite the rising water, they were able to move it to more waters, and eventually it swam away happy. Number 3. Dr. Ingrid Visser was in the middle of her research when she received word that a young female orca had become stranded on an isolated beach in Western Auckland, and she rushed to its aid. Ingrid and her colleagues arrived as quickly as possible and assisted in digging trenches around her to ease her suffering, while also attempting to keep her hydrated. The orca, which was later named Rakey Cousteau, was moved to another facility near a freshwater supply. And she was eventually carried into the sea and held until she gained enough strength to move. Number 2. It took 30 boats, 16 kayaks, and more than 60 people to rescue these 5 orcas stranded in a Norwegian bay. This pod of orcas entered the bay and stayed for 19 days before someone understood that they had become stranded. Eventually, the team of rescuers, which include mostly the locals, helped them back to the open sea. Number 1. Dr. Ingrid Visser has dedicated her life and research to saving orcas, so it's no wonder that she's always at the forefront of most rescue attempts in New Zealand. While driving, she received a call to rescue about an orca in need of rescue in the middle of the ocean.
I just don't want to go barreling up to it. I want to just go nice and slow, do this a few times and... Hi, sweetie. Yeah, we've come to help.
She sped off in a boat to rescue it, and she quickly discovered why it was in need of her assistance.
Yeah, it's... No, I can see the line all around its tail fins.
The mother orca was bound in the ocean by a rope and was now stuck and in pain.
Steve, can you help grab her tail flips?
It wasn't long before she was free and back in her pod, and it was an amazing moment to witness. What do you think about these encounters? Have you had a similar experience of your own? Let us know in the comments below. See you in the next heartwarming adventure.